So good morning, I'm Felicia O'Keefe and I'm a teacher at Linwood Senior High School. I'd like to talk to you today about creating a comprehensive relationships and sexuality education curriculum for today's students. My role at the school includes teaching RSE to students in our Intensive English Centre, which accommodates students who've recently arrived in Australia and speak little English. There are about 50 to 20 students in each class from different countries, cultures and language backgrounds. And students are grouped based on their language ability. So we have the beginning, developing and transition classes. So this means that designing an appropriate curriculum for our students can be quite a challenge, because in some classes we might have 15-year-olds with raging hormones and 12-year-olds that are squeamish at the mere mention of holding hands. When we started the health curriculum in the IEC a few years ago, we were modelling our curriculum on the health and phys ed scheme of work from our school, which is based on SCARS's curriculum. But after attending a number of professional development days here at Curtin over the years, I realised that RSE needs to be a bit more than just being able to label the cervix and the scrotum. So while the scope and sequence of the SCARSA document does address a number of contemporary RSE issues, I felt it lacked depth and didn't fully address some of the trickier topics, like consent, pleasure and pornography. So I set out to learn a little bit more about what makes a great RSE curriculum. I started on the GDHR website and came across this document on the right, which is produced by UNESCO and really clearly explores the pressing need for a far more comprehensive RSE curriculum, presenting RSE as a vehicle for social change and helping students to identify their rights and their responsibilities. It also provides a detailed framework for teachers to tackle some of these really challenging topics. So with a passionate team of staff in the IEC, we decided to review the current curriculum to update it, using some of the suggestions in this document. These are some of the topics that we've started teaching in our comprehensive RSE curriculum. We just started this term, so we'll be progressing through it as the year goes on. So each of these topics is broken down into, say, 3 or 4 subtopics. And the UNESCO document that I just referred to includes key ideas, knowledge, attitudes and skills that hopefully students will engage, will develop by engaging with the material. This term, one of the topics I taught was about violence and staying safe. And we were focusing on recognizing and responding to different kinds of violence. So for me and the students, it was a bit challenging and confronting. So this image was taken from a class I taught about gender-based violence. And in it, we explored the various kinds of forms that violence and abuse can take, including psychological and financial abuse, which might not always be as easy to identify. And given the horrifying rates of preventable deaths every year due to domestic and family violence, I believe that it's really vital that students are provided with this kind of information so that hopefully we can begin to tackle this scourge in our society. But we do have some fun whilst learning about some serious issues too. This image, I don't know how clear it is, but it's from a class activity we did about bodily integrity. I asked students to draw or write, someone spotted it, to draw or write the names of public and private parts of the body, and most of them did pretty well, identifying that dick, pussy, testicle and bobs are all private parts. Every lesson, I end with the opportunity for students to ask questions in an anonymous question box, it's a bit of a tongue twister that one, or draw a smiley face if they don't have one. As you can see, they ask all sorts of curly questions, but it's a great way for me as an educator to recognise what kind of topics I still need to teach. It also tells me how much information students already have access to, but they're not always fully informed. So I see this curriculum as vital to providing students with the access to accurate information that they might not always be able to find for themselves. And sometimes students leave me some feedback, such as the one on the left-hand side. This student, I don't know actually whether it's male or female, seems to be really grateful that they're able to access this kind of information, which many students really do desperately want. It's very easy to spend many months agonizing over what to put in a comprehensive RSE curriculum, and very, very easy to feel extremely overwhelmed. But in the IEC, we're working with what we have now, and it's not perfect, but we're doing our best and we're giving it a go. We're taking notes on what we're teaching, and we're finding out what works and what doesn't work, and we'll tweak it at the end of the year. So my suggestion is, don't get it perfect, just get it going. And there's some great resources here on the screen, as you can see, which you could use to help you get started. So including the link to the document I mentioned earlier, and also SHQ, who've provided me and our school with some really great ideas about what to teach and how to teach it. You know, the staff, the library, the resources there, all absolutely fantastic. And there's such a wealth of experience in this room as well, so I'd love to hear about what you're doing. Really happy to share more details about the work that we're doing in the IEC as well. So come and find me for a chat later, or reach out on LinkedIn as well. So on a final note, it's my hope that by delivering a comprehensive RSE curriculum, I really believe that we can make some very positive changes in our communities, which in turn I hope will lead to a more kind, caring and compassionate society. Thank you.